It's interesting that the word Satan means accuser or slanderer. And in today's Ask RC, I want to seek to answer the question, why does the devil accuse? I think it's part of his craftiness that we actually don't think that much about the reality that he does, in fact, accuse. That we tend to think, generally speaking, that his gig, his modus operandi is to get us to fall into grievous sin, to tempt us to do bad things. Well, he does want to tempt us to do bad things, but for a other reason, so that he can accuse us. He's not saying, hey, try this illicit pleasure, you'll like it, you'll get hooked, and then I'll have you where I want you. No, it's try this illicit pleasure, and as soon as you do, he says, ha, you're so bad, you're so evil, you're so terrible. Because that's his gig, accusing. He wants us to believe that we're terrible, which is the true part around which the lie is wrapped, because we are, in fact, terrible. The secret, the sneaky thing, is that he wants us to believe that because we're terrible, that God doesn't love us. Because we're terrible, we're under his judgment. We're not good enough to be worthy of God's love, which is true. What is false is to conclude, therefore, we do not have God's love. Friends, God does not love us because we're worthy. We're worthy because he loves us. God does not love us because we're good, but rather we're declared good because of his love for us. We are not loved because we've made ourselves good. Rather, we are being made good because he loved us. The devil is pushing back against the very glory of the gospel. And our solution, our calling, is to affirm the true parts that he is affirming. To own the truth that we are bad every time he accuses. We would be wise to say to him, devil, you have no idea. You're a creature. You have a limit. You may be smarter than I am, but you have a limited amount of knowledge. But there's one who has no such limitations, who knows all things, including everything there is to know about me. You may have a list a mile long of all my weaknesses and sins and frailties that you're aware of. The God of heaven and earth, he has a list that spans the galaxies of everything that's wrong with me. So I say your list is just a puny little insignificant thing. And God's list, he nailed it to the cross. The one who knows everything wrong about me has covered everything wrong about me. Don't, friends, be afraid of the accusations of the devil. And in fact, don't be afraid of the accusations of those who do the devil's work. Not because they falsely accuse, but because they weakly accuse. Their accusations are tepid and timid compared to the reality. But Jesus Christ, the Son of God, took on flesh, and he received the judgment of my Father due to me for every single one of my sins. I'm covered in blots and blemishes, but he is washing me. Let the devil accuse. he can't hurt me.